Hello, everybody. I'm back with another react to Chantal. So she did another food video, surprise, surprise. And this is a follow up to the react that I just posted where she did her healthiest meal. And directly behind that one was this one where she got a happy meal. And believe me, she was not happy with it. She wasn't happy. You have to know she wasn't happy because she wanted more food and she probably had a backup happy meal. She revealed to us before that when she ordered a meal, she had a backup sandwich. So why not a backup happy meal? Because one happy meal is not going to get it done. So she gets in this video. She's eating a happy meal. She's complaining. Of course, she's complaining because what else does Chantal have to do in her day? She's complaining. That's what she does best, eating and complaining. But I also want to show you guys something interesting that happened in the other food video that she posted, the Japanese katsu curry one, where she kind of gives a nod to somebody in her audience that might be part of that 25% that pay her or look to her to eat food for them. Yeah, it happened. And I've got some remarks on that. So tell you what, let's go to the Japanese curry video so I can play the moment in question because I've got some comments about that moment. And then we'll go on to our Happy Meal video and we'll just give my comments on that. So let me just pull it up. Okay, so there she is eating her Japanese curry with her bubble tea. And Chantal, if you're looking to get healthy, mama, you got to be careful about your liquid calories. A bubble tea is basically dessert in a cup. It's full of calories, it's full of sugar. So that little portion of curry is not so little. That looks like you can split it between two people. It looks like very dense, very heavy food. It's rice, it's chicken, it's sauce. But the bubble tea, that's easily dessert in a cup. You might as well just eat a piece of cake. But never mind that. Let's talk about the moment in question I was talking about. And this is where she gives a nod to somebody in her audience that might have requested this meal or even paid for this meal. This is her doing content for part of that 25% that, have that food fetish.
Thank you to whoever recommended this.
Y'all see that? Thank you to whoever recommended this, and then the shifty side eye. Chantal does not eat meals based on what people recommend. She's always been that one that if somebody pays for it, she'll eat it. Y'all remember back in her villa days where she would talk about different people that would pay her to eat meals? Remember the Lakma fairy? Remember that whole period of like over a month where she ate paneer every single day? And also her talking about how the feedy people would buy her clothes, send her stuff to her villa, all that. She was getting funded by the feedy people. So let me ask y'all a question. Somebody who's claiming to get healthy, how can they possibly get healthy if they're catering to that subset of their audience that their interest is to watch her eat? And the people that are the feedy people, they're not interested in healthy food. The more unhealthy, the more bulk quantity, the better. How can you possibly get healthy and turn a corner with your life and your health if you're catering to people, if they're all about seeing you gain weight and become unhealthy just to satisfy their interest? Answer, you can't get healthy. You absolutely can't. So all this talk that she's given everybody, all this lip service of, I want to get healthy, and I'm tired of having trouble walking up and down stairs. I'm tired of having trouble breathing. It's just lip service on top of lip service on top of lip service. She don't mean a lick of that. She's saying that to appease the YouTube CEOs that they now have policies in place where you cannot monetize videos where if you have an issue with food or you're talking about issues with food, you got a problem with food, you can't monetize those. So she's trying to get around YouTube policies and still cater to those people in her audience that have that food fetish. Clearly, she's still doing content for them. So with every video that she's doing like this, where she's catering to those people, taking their request, possibly getting paid to take the request, she don't care about herself. And if she don't care about herself, nobody else should care for her. That includes her audience. I know that sounds heartless to say, but hey, it is what it is. She's got to be the one to care for herself first before anybody else. She's the only one that can make a difference in her life. And if she is so hard-headed and stubborn and determined to cater to a certain group of people that all they care about is watching her grow in girth, watching her get bigger to the point where one day she might become bedbound or hospital bound, that's what she wants to do. That's the path she wants to be on, and nobody can keep her from it. But yeah, I found that interesting. Thank you to whoever recommended this. Chantal does not eat food based on recommendations. She eats food depending on what she wants and what people pay her to eat. So which one of you idiots over there paid her to eat this? Which one of you fools over there that have a food fetish paid her to eat this crap? Let me tell you something. If Chantal ends up in the hospital, whoever you are, don't you dare sit there and cry and say, I can't believe something happened to our queen, because you were one of the people that was encouraging her to get unhealthy and she ended up where she was. You weren't encouraging it, you were enabling it. So if something happens to Chantal, don't you sit there and act all sad, because all you care about is what you want. And you're going to her and saying, do this and I'll pay you for this. And she's just going right along with it. So enough with that for the moment. I'll get to that react later. Let's go on to the McDonald's one, because I got thoughts. Yes, I do. And by the way, little sub note before we get started, I do have headphones on, just trying to cut out the background noise for those who might be listening to my reacts and saying, sometimes you sound kind of hollow. I do have my Blue Yeti mic. It's right next to me. I'm using that to speak into and to pick up the sound from the computer. Unfortunately, I'm in a very small room. I am very close to one side of the wall. On the other side of the wall is the air conditioning unit, and it clicks on from time to time. So if the sound sounds kind of wonky, it's because the Blue Yeti is very, very sensitive, and it's picking up on when it hears the AC click on and off. So if that is a bother, I apologize. I'm really just trying to work out the sound issues. So I just want to let you guys know. But let's get started with this and let's get going.
Welcome back to another video. So today I am having McDonald's. I was really craving some McDonald's, but I made a better choice. I got a kids meal, which is usually allowed on a lot of diet programs like Weight Watchers.
By the way, she just flashed on screen. The pick out days are over, guys. With Chantal, you have to look at the fine print. The fine print is very important. So just because she's not picking out on camera doesn't mean she's not picking out off camera. We can't see what she's doing when the camera's turned off. She might eat a little bitty meal in front of us and then eat a bigger meal when the camera is away from her. So do I think that she is curbing her eating off camera? Absolutely not.
For example, it's, more point friendly than a regular site.
What do you care about points anyway? She's talking about Weight Watcher points while she's eating McDonald's. Didn't she do that before? She was doing the Weight Watchers or the point system, and she was still trying to find a way to include the fast food to, and the points would cover it. She's doing it again. And what happened before? She failed. She wasn't trying to eat healthy and base what she was eating on the points and like, what can I eat? What healthy options are there? She was still trying to find a way to include the very thing that triggers her to overeat. And here we are again. It's just same record, same tune, different day.
Meal or like a Big Mac. So yeah, I'm going to eat this. This is a small, tiny apple juice, orange juice.
Yay, sugar water, just what you need.
And let's get right to Bismillah. I love the packaging for kids' meals. Oh my gosh, there's a Nerf on the cover. You think that I'm gonna get a Nerf ball? Oh, I picked the girl toy. I should have got the boy toy. I would have got a Nerf, but I didn't know that. Darn it. Okay, let's see. And there was no option. Usually I get no toy, but there was no option for that. But I'm gonna see, like, honestly, the amount of fries you get in a kids meal are pretty decent. And I got the hamburger, not the cheeseburger. So, yeah. Oh, I got a Princess Peach. Cute, I guess. Maybe I'll give it to Julia. Princess Peach. Here we go. She can eat with us. Assalamu alaikum, Princess Peach. Orange juice. For some reason, I was craving orange juice. All right.
You're craving your sugar.
So, I'm going to tell you what I normally get from McDonald's. You guys know, you've seen me eat McDonald's so many times.
Right, so why are we watching you eat it again? I hate the fact that anymore she's not making any kind of original content. It's like she's going back to her channel and seeing what other food videos she's done in the past, and she's saying, "Oh, I remember doing that. Let me do it again." We're not even seeing any original meals anymore. It's the same stuff she's done before. She's rehashing old content ideas.
I used to just get like, sometimes I would get like, I would never get just a hamburger as a meal. Like, usually the hamburger or cheeseburger would be like an appetizer. And not just that, I would get like 2 or 3 of them as like a side dish, you know? So, to me, this is a good choice.
Well, it's not a good choice. You still failed. It's not healthy at all. And let me tell you something about trigger foods. And that is one of her trigger foods because she loves burgers, she loves pizza. She has said they are her trigger foods. If you have a problem with food, which she absolutely does, you eat a trigger food, what happens? You're not just going to stop at that. You're going to keep going. It might trigger you to eat other foods, which are also trigger foods. It's just going to set off a chain reaction. Hence the reason why you can't have even one trigger food, even a little bit.
So, what do you guys get?
You know, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to body shame anybody, but I am flipping the F out over the size of her hands next to that burger. Yeah, I'm petite also, Chantal. I've got a petite build. You're 5 feet tall, I'm 5'4", but I'm kind of a petite build. And my hands are tiny compared to yours. My God, woman, the size of your hands next to that burger. How can you not look at your hands and say, "Oh my God, what is wrong with me?" Your hands look like catcher's mitts.
McDonald's has the best pickles. Somehow it still tastes like a cheeseburger, even though there's no cheese. Kind of weird. But okay. So if I look tired, I'm a bit tired because which is also why I haven't really been going live.
You know, Chantal, you put the same elements in every video and every live. The same things keep popping up. You mention how hot it is in Kuwait. You go into detail about how hot it is. You go into detail about how you can't do anything because of the heat. Maybe you talk about feeling dizzy and sick and nauseous. You talk about food, different kinds of food, especially fast food. You talk about how busy you are, even though you don't go into detail about why you're busy or what you're doing. You talk about, oh, we've got so many things in the works, we've got so many plans, and yet you won't go into detail about what those plans are. The same elements all the time. Oh, and you also talk about how you were craving something. You're always craving something. But it's like you do the same video just with different food every day.
I'm just so busy.
Oh, here we go. She's busy.
We're busy.
You can cut it out with that. It's already been revealed that Salah does not have a job, that you are supporting him. He's basically a bum. We all know about him. Music Biz Marty put out a short or video showcasing Salah's family. Every member of his family, they look like very intelligent, well-read, educated people that have careers. And Salah seems to be the oddball out, the one with nothing going on for himself. He doesn't have a job. He's depending entirely upon you for his living. You're supporting another bum. So what could he possibly be busy with? You know, what does he have to do all day? Go get your food, take you places, maybe put on your shoes. He's not that busy. You prefer to be at home and do nothing. So how busy is he really?
With a lot of life stuff. Which I know you're probably thinking, yeah, right, you have no life. And you know what? We're at this point, we're beyond caring what people think about us.
This is the second time you've addressed it. This is the second video in a row that you've addressed this. We don't care what people think. We don't pay attention. Then why are you still talking about it? If you were unbothered, you wouldn't bother addressing it. You wouldn't be annoyed with this. If people have opinions and feelings because you decided to put your content on a public platform in front of the public, and so the public is expressing their feelings, thoughts, and opinions, you should be unbothered by it. Just let it ride off your back. Not keep bringing it up every single video.
Like, so it doesn't matter. But it's also because like we're so private now about what we do in our life. And you know what? There's so much power in that.
You know why she doesn't talk about her private life? Because there's nothing going on in her private life. There's nothing to discuss. It's not a matter of we want our privacy. And it's so nice to have our privacy. There's literally nothing going on. Every time she posts a video or does a live, we can see there's nothing going on. There's no chemistry between her and Salah. They're not going anywhere. They're not doing anything. They're not that busy. Not at all. She's acting like there's something going on. She's acting as if the two of them are doing so much behind the scenes, but there's nothing happening. Therefore, there's nothing to talk about.
If we go out, if we go to weddings.
You don't go anywhere. You can cut it out with lying about that too. You're acting like you have a social circle and you're going to weddings and you're going to parties and you're going to see friends. Chantal, you can't be in a store for more than 10 minutes before you have to go. So how in the world would you go to a person's house and hang out or go to a wedding where it's a social function and be around people? Within 5 minutes of being there, you'd say, my back hurts and it's time to go home.
What we're planning in our life, like we're building a future together, right? So
Not really. You think he honestly wants a future with you? No, he wants a future away from you. But what that big stupid idiot isn't figuring out is that a future is not going to happen with you. And that you are not the yellow brick road to success or fortune. He still hasn't figured that out, despite the fact that it's been several months and he has not picked up on the fact that maybe you are deliberately making sure that you don't earn too much money so that he doesn't get too much money so that he can't run off. That maybe you are deliberately coming on camera and doing the most boring, bland content possible so that you won't make too much. You'll make just enough to keep a roof over your head and get some food in your mouth, but that's about all. There's not going to be a huge surplus of money to go around. I mean, Chantal is very manipulative, y'all. And the only way that she can have a man next to her is to manipulate him to stay with her. You know, she's a proverbial black widow. You know, she lures men into her web. And once a man gets stuck in her web, she'll wrap her silk all around him, suffocate him with it. And then she won't let go until there's nothing left in his corpse. Then she'll drop him to the ground and move on to the next one. That's how she plays the game. Let me just throw out the bait. Anybody who bites the bait, she puts you on the hook. She makes sure you're nice and snug. Then she'll reel you in. And then you're not getting away once she's got you. So you're not going to go to Canada with Chantal Salah. And you're not going to get rich off of her. You're not going to have the good life ever. She just wants you to stay right next to her and be her caretaker until, I don't know, something happens to her or she decides, hey, it's time for me to go home. But you are not allowed to escape until then.
there's a lot of power in keeping your private life private, and I didn't realize that.
Y'all ain't doing nothing together. He's doing nothing with you.
For many years, when I would stream or video every detail of my life, I really wasn't doing myself any favors. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind sharing a lot. What is this? It's a knife. But having a private life is liberating in a way I never would have imagined.
So why aren't you happy? You look very unhappy saying that. Like you're dying to tell us things. You are dying to let go, but you can't. Is it because of Salah? Is it because of where you are? Chantal, you don't like bottling things up. You don't like keeping things private. You want to make everything public. You are of the opinion that you are so important, that you're so interesting. We have to know every detail of what goes on with you. Even though you are a very boring person, in your mind, you are so important that everybody must know everything. So I'm sure it's killing you to bottle everything up. All because you're trying to conform to this good girl image, which is not you. The person you are in Kuwait is not you. That is not your authentic self. We saw your authentic self in Canada. And that authentic self that you've hidden away inside of you, it wants to come out. It's trying to claw its way out of your skin. It's saying, let me out, Chantal. I don't like it in here. I need to come out. But you won't let it out. And I think that's part of your misery is that you know you are not being your true self. You're trying to be something you're not for the sake of a man who doesn't love you, doesn't care for you, doesn't even desire you. It's akin to trying to put a square peg into a round hole. You're just trying to fit where you don't belong. Best thing you can do is come home and just be your doggone self.
I know a lot of people were like preaching for me to do that, you know, telling me, urging me to do that sooner. But you know, the whole point of living your life is learning at your own pace, right? Learning the lessons at your own pace, because if you just live your life according to how everyone dictates it for you or suggests it for you, you're not going to live for yourself. Right, Princess Peach? Want a bite of the burger? Yum, yum, yum. Um. So yeah, all that to say, I can't really share a lot of what's going on in my life right now, but that's why I look tired. But I've just been working on a lot of things,
Like what?
positive things.
Then tell us what they are.
I realize no matter what kind of hijab style I wear, I'm always gonna have to push it back because when you have a chubby round face, it's harder to stay in place.
Chantal, listen, we all know why you wear the hijab. It has nothing to do with you being a newly reverted Muslim woman or because you have to. We all know why you're wearing it. It's because you are getting bigger and your face is getting rounder and wider, and so is your neck. And you're using that to cover it up. You're trying to use the hijab as a sort of a contour filter for your face and cover up a lot of areas that you deem are problem areas. But it seems like even with that, you're outgrowing your hijabs to the point where you had to recently buy new ones because the ones you had were too small. Again, another warning sign that maybe you need to slow down with the eating. You're outgrowing your abayas and your hijabs.
It rhymes. So, just having a quick lunch.
You know, normally she's happy when she sits down to eat fast food, especially something like McDonald's. I didn't get a sense of happiness here. You know what I noticed was missing? Remember back in the day with Chantal, she'd sit down to eat fast food and she would make the moaning sounds and her eyes would roll in the back of her head. What happened? There was none of that here. She didn't look happy at all. She looked rather down about it. Maybe it's A, she's not getting that dopamine rush like she used to off the food, or B, she's just angry and frustrated because she wants more and this is all she's getting. And that makes her unhappy knowing that she's got a little versus a lot, or C, all of the above. I think it's C, all of the above. Like the dopamine rush just ain't happening. And it's especially not happening because she's not getting a lot of it.
McDonald's hamburgers and cheeseburgers are like the best. They're so small and yummy. I don't know.
Y'all don't fight me out there, but I think Wendy's hamburgers are better than McDonald's. Don't fight me. Don't fight me. It's just my opinion. Don't fight me.
I've always wanted to try White Castle sliders. I had the microwave ones, like the frozen. They were okay.
Oh, that would be dangerous for her. She went to White Castle because you could easily put away a dozen or 2 dozen without even thinking about it. Can you imagine Chantal? She would get like boxes and boxes of sliders.
I'm not a picky eater, mashallah, but
I'm not a picky eater until it comes to healthy food. Then I'm a very picky eater.
I wish I got the boy toy so I could have the Nerf. A little Nerf basketball kit. I'm whining like a kid. How fitting when I'm eating a kid's meal, huh? So, I mean, I'm not like super full, of course, because I'm used to eating large quantities of food, but it satisfied my McDonald's craving.
Yeah, but the bad thing is you just ate that. And eating a trigger food means it might set you up for other trigger foods. It's just, it might set off a chain reaction. You can go from McDonald's to something else, to something else, to something else, and keep going. That's why you can't even get started. If you have no self control, if you know you can't stay away from something, the best thing to do is to stay away from it. If you know you have no control at all, don't even tempt yourself. And by eating your trigger foods, you are tempting yourself. You're not satisfying a craving. That little bee monster inside your head is saying, "Oh, thank you. Can we have more? Can we please have more? We're not done yet." What do you mean we're done? No, you better keep going. Yeah, that's why it's a bad idea.
Actually, okay.
Okay, she's pretty much done. Do we have any comments here? Ah, Eliza says part of keeping your life private is not constantly hinting at all the big stuff you're not telling us. What does Foodie have to say in reply to that? And she laughs, and then Dead Girl says, that will never happen. Going to travel when she eats all of her money that barely lasts all month. She only does a haul right after payday, right? Let's see. More people giving her health advice. Blah, blah, blah. But I like this comment at the beginning. You know, if Foodie does have big plans and stuff that she's doing, why not hint about those things? Why not just do them and then just surprise the audience with whatever is going on? You know, don't hint at what's going on unless you're going to give further hints like, we've got big plans, guys. Like, we're going to go to the beach. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. You know, hint and then give an idea. Don't just say, oh, we've got big plans and then don't talk about it. Just maybe pop up one day with a surprise video or a surprise live somewhere, and that'll be very pleasant for the audience. But she's always saying, we've got big plans. We're so busy. Well, no, you're not. You can barely breathe. You can barely move. You're not going anywhere, Foodie. We know this. Anyway, that's a short react for the day. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Going to move on to the next one. Thank you so much for being here, and take care.